Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss Aliens, written and directed by James Cameron. Came out July 18th, 1986. Takes place in the year 2179. It's been 57 years since the first film. So whatever that year is, plus 57 years equals this. I think it's 2199 or 2179. Whatever. So this was 7 years after the first one came out. First one came out in 79. This came out in 86. So that's a long jump between sequel films. Ridley Scott did the first one. James Cameron did the second one. A lot of people renown the second far more superior than the first. And I see why. There's a lot more action sequences. You have two badass female leads within action sequences. You have Rodriguez and you have Sigourney Weaver back as Ripley. So what happened during the 57 years? So the escape pod that her and Jones were on, the cat, drifted, and no one had happened to intercept them for 57 years. They've been in a prolonged hypersleep for 57 years. So a freighter got them, brought them in, towards this star shuttle, basically by Earth. And they, as in the cat and Sigourney, are being interrogated by the owners of the company that, had the mining ship Nostromo to begin with in the first one, saying that it's $47 million worth of property that she destroyed. There's no credibility to it. And then there's fighting going on. They claim that the whole issue is now closed. But in the process of this, they terraformed and colonized the planet that the Nostromo crew went on to investigate the distress call. And apparently for decades, there hasn't been any problem with any of the families or crew members that have been in this colony on this planet, whatever the numbers and letters are attached to it. Didn't have a name. It was like letters and numbers. So all of a sudden now that Ripley's awake and 57 years later, they can't get in contact with the colony anymore, so something happened. So Ripley's like, obviously something happened. You let these aliens, these xenomorphs, infiltrate everybody. So one of the directors of this company actually uses the word xenomorph. So this is the first movie where we have the xenomorph name attached to the aliens, because they're not called xenomorphs in the first movie. They're just called creature and monster and stuff like that. And then they're called monster in this as well. But we have a plethora of xenomorphs in this film. So there's a crew that gets to the planet. Of course, it's destroyed. The colony is cocooned on these walls because the facehuggers had attacked them. The director of the, company has, of course, an alternative theory of having two individuals smuggle in embryos in a cryogenic state, so that way they can go through customs without anybody knowing, since each embryo would be worth millions of dollars. And then his plan is foiled when Ripley and this little girl, Newt, who happens to be the only survivor in the colony, face off against facehuggers and, reveal the plot that was thickened. You have all these badass fight scenes and all these different things. And the last 20 minutes are complete chaos. You have Ripley saving Newt from the queen xenomorph herself. And we go into the hierarchy that it's like ant colony kind of mindset. You have the queen who lays the eggs, and then you have the minions, the warriors, the runners, whatever you want to call them, getting the meat, getting the fresh bodies to host the new babies. So Ripley in the mech, the giant mech suit, fighting the xenomorph queen is iconic. The line, "Get away from her, you bitch," has been referenced so many times in so many different films. This film, pop culture-wise, supersedes the first one. Plain and simple, flat out plain and simple, especially with that line, "Get away from her, you bitch." And you can see how much of Aliens influenced James Cameron's 2009 film Avatar, and then moving forward into his Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5, whenever the hell they release. Honestly, I'm not excited for them. I will watch them because they are blockbuster films, and there's the whole land of Pandora in Disney's Animal Kingdom in Florida. So we'll see. But this was pretty neat in the sense of it amped up the action. It brought some new answers to what these aliens are, which I liked. Sometimes in films you have just a villain, and then it's just more villain fighting stuff, but no backstory things. We don't actually have a backstory on these things in this particular film, but we have more information on these particular things in this film. So On to Alien 3. I do not remember anything about it. And then Alien Resurrection, I don't remember. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. Excuse me. No. Chronologically speaking, we have to go to Predator next. Predator came out in, what, 89, I think? 88, 89. So that's the next one in our theatrical release chronological order of viewing these films. Okay. 2 down, 10 to go. We can do this. Mucho mahalo.